President Cyril Ramaphosa replies to a tweet that was made by the crazy oncoming president of the US, Mr. Donald Trump. This one is a re-election. As you all know, that Donald Trump doesn't have a filter. He would go direct to each and everything that he wants to say. This time around, he was directing his brutal words to the Brics countries. Dumela Kazi, welcome back to the cafe. If you are new here, welcome. And if you are returning, thank you so much for gracing us with your presence. If you are new, actually, please do make sure you subscribe. Do make sure you like this video, and please do comment down below with your own thoughts. Without wasting any more time, let's get into this video. So the controversial tycoon and the actual oncoming president of the United States, Donald Trump, decided to go for Brics countries due to the possible currency that was in talks by the BRIC countries, that they would like to have a currency that they will use for the trades or international trades. So this is what Donald Trump said about that whole thing, trying to actually destroy the whole idea. The idea that the BRICS countries are trying to move away from the dollar while we stand by and watch is over. We require a commitment from these countries that they will neither create a new BRICS currency nor back any other currency to replace the mighty US dollar, or they will face 100% tariffs and should expect to say goodbye to selling into wonderful US economy. They can go find another sucker. There is no chance that the BRICS will replace the US dollar in international trade, and any country that tries should wave goodbye to America. So as you can hear from this tweet, was very direct, very clean and sweet, straight to the BRIC countries. And as you all know that the BRIC countries are they've got very powerful countries in that BRIC, such as China, Russia, India, and many other countries such as us in South Africa and Iran. You can name it. I mean, I think we all know what are those countries by now. Especially if you are in South Africa, you should know who are these BRICS partners, right? I think that is just a bare minimum that you should be knowing exactly who are these BRICS countries. So obviously, as I said, that BRICS is actually thinking of having this currency that they will use for their trade or international trade. So Donald Trump doesn't want that to happen at all, because that will mean the dollar will lose its relevancy, and it will lose its strongest point. It will lose its capabilities, as we've been using the dollar as a trade currency for many years. So that will mean the US won't be the great US that Donald Trump still thinks the US is still the greatest thing to have ever be in this planet. So President Cyril Ramaphosa decided to actually say, no. This is what we should be saying. And in his saying, I will tell you about everything. I mean, I need you to watch this video. Then I will come back and say few words about this one, because I feel like there's some things that needs to be said, and I'm tired of pretending.
Well, today is a very significant date for us as South Africa, as we assume the presidency of the G20. The G20 is an important formation. Our economy is rather small, but we are part of the G20. So we are hitting way above our own weight by dint of the positioning we have in the world, and also the many positions that we have taken and the strength of our economy as well. These countries are about 75% of the world trade. So they are an important bloc of countries that we will be leading for the whole year before we hand over to the United States of America in 2026. So we are going to work closely with the United States, with President Donald Trump. We are going to have moments when we will sit down around the table and discuss all these matters. And some of these matters, as it happens, are said on platforms, and we, in the end, prefer that you sit down and rely on diplomacy around the table and have proper discussions on each issue that affects each nation. So we're looking forward to having such discussions with President Trump, and he will obviously from time to time say this is the type of tariff he'll impose on this country and that country and that country. We hear all that, but in the end we also have a message to put across, and we will put that message across around the table when we can discuss things properly in the usual South African style, in the way we have been taught, in the way our own tradition has evolved.
So your president, Cyril Ramaphosa, who's always acting as if he is one of those civil people that we need to sit down and talk. How many times should we talk to people that definitely disrespect our intelligence, disrespect our continent, and disrespect the countries that are within Brics? Because this is another disrespect. Donald Trump thinks that America, or the US in specific, would be able to sustain itself without any other country. If every country in this planet, which is Earth, would pull off and they would join BRICS and they would just say we need our own currency, the US currency will collapse and people will get hungry. The US cannot sustain itself alone. I would say at this today, as we speak, I don't think there's a country that would sustain itself and sustain its people alone. We are not an island, and the US is not an island where they can only sustain themselves. They don't have enough to sustain themselves. There's a lot of things that they don't do. There's a lot of things that you don't find in the US. There's a lot of things that we have in South Africa that the US doesn't have. But Cyril Ramaphosa, when he speaks, it feels like he's bowing down to this guy. We are so tired, and I'm literally so tired of African leaders who are always bowing down for each and every country. You cannot be bowing down to people who are showing you that you are worthless. Donald Trump is trying to say these countries are worthless and the mighty dollar shouldn't even be tampered with. You should not try to see a different side in these trade partners. You should be focusing on the dollar because it is the mighty dollar. So now Cyril Ramaphosa says we need to sit down and talk and blah blah. Do you think this guy Donald Trump will respect Cyril Ramaphosa? Do you think he will respect him enough? Because each and every time he says something, Cyril Ramaphosa only thinks about sitting down and thinking. I understand that there's a lot of things that we get from the US. There's a lot of aid that we get from the US, such as the aid for HIV and a lot of things. Not only for HIV, but a lot of aid that is coming from the US. But you cannot allow leaders like Donald Trump to walk over you. It's not the 1800s. It's not 1910. We cannot allow any leader who is outside of this country to disrespect this country And within the BRICS, for a fact, I know that China doesn't give a damn about that guy. Russia doesn't give a damn about that guy. And if they want to do something, they can do it in no time. They don't listen to that guy. And the same China as well. China doesn't listen to anyone, actually. Why should we bow as South Africa and be the ones who are always talking? Cyril Ramaphosa says on this video, he says that we will sort this out just like the same way that we sort things out in South Africa. We are tired of sorting things out the South African way. We need to sort things out our way, individually now. If you are the craziest person, those are the traits that you need to show to sort things out. Because the disrespect from these countries, especially the disrespect from the US, the disrespect from Donald Trump, the same Donald Trump who said Africa is a shithole, you're still bowing down for that person, the person that called you a shithole. You see, that is the problem with having old people leading us. Fossils are leading us. Ancestors are leading us. They are living ancestors. We need young people. We need young blood. We need people who would say no and put their foot down and say, no, that's not how you speak to us. So I would like to know on your side, do you think Cyril Ramaphosa is capable of manning up for that guy, even though he says they will sit down? Do you think in that sitting down, Cyril Ramaphosa will have any word, or Donald Trump will have his last word in that meeting? Donald Trump made it clear that there is no currency that will happen. Otherwise, we're charging you 100% tariffs, or else you are also saying goodbye to trading with the US. Cyril Ramaphosa is not going to go there and say, look here, my guy, we are going to take this to, we are going to have our currency, and we also need you to be in it. And he's not going to go there. He's just going to talk nonsense, man. This guy has made it clear. It's clear for him. Clear, bruh. We don't want any other currency except the US dollar. When I think about Donald Trump, I think about Helen Zille. She is very clear. That's what is happening in that GNU. She is very clear. If she doesn't want something, she doesn't want something. Cyril Ramaphosa will go and talk, and that will be the end of it. After talking, nothing will happen. Nothing will change. Helen Zille will still say, I don't want it. That's the same as Donald Trump. He says, I don't want it. He's going to go there and talk and do whatever. Donald Trump will come back and say, I do not want it. That's all. There is no time to be talking. We can't be talking with people that are not civil enough. And Donald Trump is not civil. You can't be talking to that person. What are you talking about? Because that person is not civil. That person is not going to give you any chance. What are we talking about? Anyway, thank you so much for watching. Please let me know what you think on my comment section. I'll see you on my next upload. Oh, guys. Oh, my gosh. I turned 35 years old last week on Thursday. That's why I was a bit not in here, because I was busy doing all my festivities to celebrate my 35th birthday. And in that 35th birthday, I had to reflect, and I had to thank God that I'm still alive after my mom died 34 years ago. Yeah, my mom died 34 years ago. No, yeah. What? My mom died 34 years ago, not 35. What was I saying? My mom died 34 years ago. So a couple of months ago in 1990. So I was born in 1989 and she died in 1990. So 34 years ago. So yeah. Yeah. Anyway, thank you so much for watching till this far. I'll see you on my next upload. Have a fantastic one. Peace.